Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the Idahoan Show. You know, when I first started this channel almost a decade ago, I would include disclaimers in a lot of my video descriptions to the effect of, don't try this at home. If you do, you're at your own risk, blah, 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 blah. And after a while, I came to realize that, this is stupid. I mean, nobody's going to read these disclaimers. If they do, it's not going to affect anything. I can't protect you from yourself, and frankly, it's kind of insulting to you for me to try to protect you from yourself. So I quit bothering with disclaimers. I think that was the right decision. I think people who watch my channel regularly kind of know where I'm coming from and how I present things, and it's never been a problem. But it did occur to me that maybe it would be worth making this quick sort of universal disclaimer video for the benefit of anyone who's brand new to the channel or just looking through my Intro to the Idahoan Show playlist to see if they want to follow the channel, to provide a little bit of perspective on how I present things and where I'm coming from. And to that end, I guess the first point I would make is that I don't make videos for idiots. I don't try to dumb down my videos or sanitize them of anything that's not idiot-proof. So I think a good rule of thumb when you're browsing the internet is don't be an idiot. There's lots of great information out there, whether it's on my channel or elsewhere, that can get you in trouble if you try to apply it without applying an appropriate measure of good sense. Secondly, I don't really make videos for children. I mean, I don't think there's really anything on my channel that you'd need to shield your kids from. I don't use profanity, I don't get into sexual issues or anything like that. But if you're watching the channel and you see something that looks like fun, and so you want to do something similar yourself, but you're only 10 or 12 years old, you should probably get a responsible adult involved in the project. And a big part of the reason for that would be my third point, which is that safety is not really the focus of my videos. If I'm working in the shop or conducting an experiment or something, I'll take whatever safety precautions I deem necessary to reduce the risk of physical hazards to an acceptable level. But I won't necessarily make a point of showing that and talking about it in the video because I want to keep my videos interesting, and watching me put on safety glasses is not that interesting. In fact, to be honest, I find it a little bit concerning how some channels will make a big point of, oh, now I'm putting on my safety glasses, whenever they're working in the shop or out at the range or whatever, because, if I give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe that safety hubris culture is effective for teaching young children about those kinds of protective measures. But if you're talking to adolescents or adults who are not fully on board with the whole safety hubris culture, then it tends to have the opposite effect of, by presenting it in a way that's over the top and kind of divorced from reality, you draw an association between the safety precautions and a mentality that's divorced from reality, which makes people think that the precautions themselves are not necessary in the real world. And so you get kind of a reactionary culture forming as exemplified by channels like Jorg Sprave, where he'll be out doing something where most people would be wearing a ton of protective gear, full face shield, leather apron, steel-toed boots, etc. And he'll be out there in a t-shirt and shorts and sandals and joking about how he's got his safety t-shirt on. And people love that because they're sick of safety hubris. Now, I don't have quite as high of a risk tolerance as Jorg Sprave does. And so when I'm working in the shop or doing an experiment of some kind, I'll be wearing whatever protective gear or taking whatever safety precautions I feel are appropriate for the situation. But unless there's some really unique hazard associated with that particular project that I'm mitigating in a really unique and innovative way, I'm probably not going to talk about my safety precautions in the video. So if you draw inspiration from one of my projects and decide to do some kind of a shop project yourself, hopefully you've got a background in general machine shop safety. And if you don't, that's something you should probably study up on before you start working in that environment. Fourth, just as I don't tend to talk much about safety in my videos, I don't tend to talk much about legal issues either. I'm careful to obey the laws that are applicable to me here in Idaho, but the laws that are applicable to me here in Idaho may be different than the laws that are applicable to someone else living in England or Germany or California. And even here in Idaho, laws can change over time. So as my videos get older, that could be an issue. Or maybe it's not even a legal issue, but just a question of cultural acceptability. In one of my early videos on different holster options and how best to carry a gun, I made the point that wearing a gun openly in public, open carry was technically legal, but in most places, at least in town, was not socially acceptable. That's kind of changed since then. There's been definitely an increase in openness towards open carry in much of Idaho since I made that video. Anyway, so the point is that if you see something on the internet, whether it's on my channel or somewhere else, that you think you want to do, it is completely on you to figure out how you can do it safely and legally in your particular setting. And I'm sure you probably knew that already, so I'm going to quit rambling and wrap up this video. But until next time, thank you for watching The Idahoan Show.